Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going on a deep dive into the number 4. So do you crave structure, purpose, and a path that builds something that lasts? The number 4 in numerology could be your foundation. Today we're going to talk about the deep symbolism of the number 4, what the positive and challenging traits are if 4 is on your calendar, and some possible career paths for a life path 4. But first, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell too so you don't miss a single future video. So what exactly does the number 4 represent? So think of 4 as the 4 walls of a house. They are the foundation, they are stability, they are discipline, practicality, responsibility, structure, logic, all of these things. They are the builder archetype of numerology. So when we think of the 4 directions, the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, these are what form our world. So these are the core building blocks, and that's what the 4 represents. And of course, number 4 is known as the architect, the organizer, the rock, or the teacher. If 4 is on your calendar this year, what exactly does that mean? So 4 is the time for focus, for foundation, for working, for getting serious about your finances, your business, health, and planning. This is the time for structures to be put in place to support your life and to support your future. So when you think of the 4 walls, like you think of the housing, transportation, your monthly utilities, and your food. Those are the 4 key things that you need to think about when you do a budget, for example. So these are the core elements that you need to survive. This is survival mode. This is a very grounding number. So if this is a 4 personal month, this is a good time for catching up on your responsibilities, repairing houses, planning, organizing, practical decision making. So this is the time to kind of button up these things around the house. This would be ideal for, setting appointments, making long-term decisions, and grounding energy. So good for slow, productive, focus actions. So what would that look like if somebody is a 4 life path? So somebody with a 4 life path, maybe at an early age, it might look like they grow up with responsibilities early. Like they feel responsible, they feel the need to grow up fast. Maybe they feel misunderstood or overlooked if their practicality isn't celebrated. So if you have a 4 life path in your life, they thrive on that stability, the practical work, the logic. So make sure that you praise a young life path 4 if they do something stable, reliable, logical. In young adulthood, they may focus on building stability, like a good career, a home, finances. They tend to take on leadership or managerial responsibilities. Again, unlike a 1 who wants to stand out, but this is just getting your needs met, getting ahead of the game, maybe building that 401k early, for example, taking those responsibilities very, very seriously. So in midlife, hits the mastery phase. So after a few years, getting your career in check, getting your own stable foundation set. When you hit, midlife career, this can become an expert in a field or respected teacher. This could be learning to balance joy and spiritual growth. This may be, finding that other expertise where you can help and guide others. Later in life, of course, you enjoy the fruits of your labor. You've worked hard, you've had your career, you may serve as a mentor in the community or a legacy builder. So you are still going to want that name for yourself. You're still going, even if it's with your own friends and family, you are going to have that respect that you've worked so hard for. And that's what's important for a life path 4. So what are some of the positive and negative aspects of personality traits, rather? So, of course, life path fours can be extremely dependable, loyal, and hardworking, persistent to see things through. They will make a plan and stick to it. They're good for the long haul. They are natural planners and system builders. They love schedules and step-by-step systems. The detail oriented. They're calm under pressure. They think things through. Very, very practical, very stable. So, what are some of the challenges that a life path 4 might have? So, when looking at the outer edges of the spectrum, they could be stubborn or resistant to change. They can struggle with unexpected challenges. They could be overworked. They might be inflexible. Anything that throws them off their routine, they want to stick to their routine because that's what they put in place. That's what works. That's what they've always done, and they're going to keep doing it. So they can struggle with that spontaneity. I don't want to say fun because, they might have fun in their own way, but to have that spontaneity is hard for a 4 to get outside of their bubble, get outside of their comfort zone. They might be judgmental of less structured individuals, like a 3 or a 5 that are the free spirits. They might frown upon that and be like, oh God, I could never live that way. How can they do that? There's no structure. There's no nothing. The wind blows and that's where they go. They might not be able to relate to that at all. A life path 4 out in the real world is all about from chaos to order. They love putting things into place. They love putting systems into place. They're very organized. Their themes are often experience early responsibilities or structured upbringings. They have high expectations for themselves or others. They have a deep desire to be respected for their work ethic, and they have growth opportunities in balancing this rigidity with their openness. They need that emotional openness. So with those examples of Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, and Frank Sinatra, what are some other career paths that would be suitable for a number 4? The best type of career path would be engineers, architects, builders, or mechanics. Natural builders and planners, they like to work with their hands. They thrive in an organized environment with operations and logistics. They would make really great accountants. They would make great project managers to deal with the structure, equations, and such. What about teachers, administrators, or IT professionals? This logical and technical mind will excel in these areas as well. Very grounded careers. They work with the earth. They work with their hands. They are one of those 4 pillars that we need for a society. Of course, a stable work environment is ideal. Routines, clear expectations, measurable results. These are the work environments that a 4 needs to thrive and survive. Of course, attention to detail, endurance and loyalty to long-term goals, ability to lead through example, and hard work. So if I were to give the 4 advice, it would be 4s need to see results and purpose in what they build. Meaningful output matters more than flashy success. So they may resist to creative, flexible environments, and they need to avoid burnout by learning to delegate and rest. So along with delegating and resting, a 4 would need to balance work and rest, structure and surrender. You are not your productivity. Flexibility brings freedom as well. So have a little bit of freedom in your structured life, or structure in some freedom. It might be some planned spontaneity might work for you to find that balance. Find that long-term reliable self-care. Find a routine, a workout that you like. Meditation clearly is always good. Anything grounding and bringing you to your roots is, speaking in the language of a number 4. So any earth connections, hiking, gardening, balance is just needed. So if you're a number 4 and you find that you're working a lot, just find that balance, take a step back for a minute. So all in all, a life path 4 is a very solid partner, a good friend. They're very loyal and trusted. They're the one who creates a lasting legacy through dedication and order. The life path 4s create a scaffold for progress and security in the world. So they have that ability to see what's needed, poke holes in the plan, and fill in their ideas to make the structure more sound. Question: are you a 4? And what are you currently building in your life? Please let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And of course, like this video if you like this video. Click on one of these for more from Numerology Lab. I'll see you there.